Welcome back to Alchemy Factory, guys. As you can see, I have built up a little bit. I have gotten this whole floor ready to go with the Mars build. And things are coming up through the floor, which is why I have decided to go double height. Moving forward, I put in all the pillars where they need to be in order to support a floor. And we have all of this factory space to work with, which is awesome. Look at this. There's so much space. And if we just jump down real quick, let's just jump down real quick. Yeah, people are buying stuff, which is great. Someone's buying a Jupiter, someone's buying a Saturn. Awesome. Now we have all these floors over here. This isn't being used. Go up. This isn't being used. Go up again. This isn't being used. And we can barely get in here from over here. And then up top, we have another floor, which isn't being used. I haven't actually made that area accessible yet. But then over here, we have our whole building. And down here, we have a bunch of floors that are not being utilized either. But I'm going to build the Mars build up here. There's a lot of space, and we're going to need a lot of space for the Mars. Because the Mars takes 600 iron nails, 300 steel gears, 600 bronze rivets, and 300 copper bearings. Now, that's not really true. If we go in and we build a shaper, if I can find it, and set the recipe to Mars, we want to have 3 of these going. So we need 360 steel gears a minute. Let's see, 240, 480, 720. 720 iron nails, 720 bronze rivets, and 360 copper bearings. That's what we need to get going. That's what we need to get going. So, let's go take a quick look at the builds we have for those things. Because we do have builds for those things. Oh, we have a little bit of space there as well. Where are we here? This is steel. Steel gears. These produce 7.5 a minute. 7.5 a minute. Now, I wonder, if we do research, can we get a better processor of some sort? Well, we might as well research these and the advanced shaper and the paradox crucible. So let's just start researching these. And we'll see. I wonder if the advanced shaper can make the Mars, or it's for something like the Venus, which I'm guessing that. I'm guessing that's what it's for. We have a bunch of new liquids here. Okay. Let's do the shaper once we're done with the alembic. Alright. Now what is the alembic? Alembic. We need some bars of some sort that we don't have. Copper ingots. Okay, we're not actually saving up any copper ingots. I don't think. Where are we producing our copper stuff? I think it's actually upstairs here. Maybe. Yeah. Well, we're backed up here. That's a little surprising. I don't necessarily mind it. Alright, so you... Yeah, there's nothing being stored up here. Maybe over here. Bronze ingots. And this is copper ingots. Yeah, we're running low on copper bearings. We're running low on copper bearings. We might need... What if we... And the reason we're running low on copper bearings is because we're not producing the bronze rivets. So these are kind of stuck, I guess. Yeah, they are. So... Yeah, the impure copper powder is maxed. What if we built a trash barrel somewhere and put some of these bronze ingots in? So we have... Okay, this is a little bit iffy. But if we stick one of you in there, for instance, then we can do... we could do a priority splitter here, and the priority is down there, and then we... Alright, but that's probably fine. And we could do a storage if I had the materials for it and the space for it. But I can get the space for it. Right, let's just go get some materials. We need some of these. I think we probably need some of these. Let's get a couple more. Alright. Now what floor were we working on? It wasn't this one. Was it this one? No, it wasn't this one. It was this one, I think. Yeah. Alright. So, a storage. And we'll do the bigger one. And that'll go into there. And then we kind of need another priority splitter. Well, we actually need it there. Well, actually here. So if we do that, priority splitter, put that in there. Priority is at the bottom, which is fine. So you're getting. And then we need a trash barrel. If I can find it. Which I can't. Because I'm awesome. Alright. And then like that. Whoops. Now, alright, Jupiters are selling okay-ish. We are spending a hell of a lot of money, though. A hell of a lot of money, but we are making money. We are making pretty good money. So that's good. That's good. Okay. So, if our storage here is full, and if that is full, then it'll just go into the trash. And that's exactly what we want, because we want to be making our impure copper to be turning into bearings. But what I really want to see is, so that's 10 a minute in a crucible, and 10 produces 20 copper bearings. So let's go upstairs. Where did I put that? There. So we need 60 copper ingots a minute. And how many bronze ingots a minute do we need? That's then the next question. So that's 10 to 30, that's 10 to 20. So, what was it? Oh, don't fall down. Damn it. Damn it. Alright, we need 240. So these are 1 to 2, these are 1 to 3. Or 10 to 20, 10 to 30. Which is not really a great ratio for us, I think. So we need 60 copper ingots a minute to produce these 120. We need 40 bronze ingots a minute to make those, which is not ideal, right? 24 divided by 3. That's 80. That's 80. No, we need 80. And 12 divided by 3 is... well, divided by 2 is 6. So, well, maybe it is. But we need 80 bronze ingots and 60 copper ingots, which is not great. We'd rather have it be the same. But that just means that we'll have to get rid of some of the bronze ingots somehow. I guess a trash barrel. Now, steel gears. In order to make steel, we produce 7.5 steel bars a minute and 22.5 iron bars a minute for producing the nails. So where we produce nails down here, don't we? I think somewhere. No. All right. Oh, we're producing nails here. So we need 240 nails a minute. So again, that's 80. And we need way, way more steel. As in way, way more. Huh. Okay. Well, I guess we just gotta start building and figure it out. Let's start with... Well, I guess we'll do a product at a time. Now, these two products are linked and these two products are linked. So, which two products do we want to start with? I think nails and steel gears, probably. Let's start with nails and steel gears. Let's do that. Alright, let me get building. Actually, before we start building, let's just see this advanced shaper. I can actually build it. Yeah, there's no recipe. So this can't build the Mars. So this is what we have to work with. Okay, fair enough. I'll get started on a nail and steel gear build, and then I'll be back. All right. I have built a little something. I built this thing, which will give us 120 iron a minute. We have 6 iron smelters producing, excuse me, just got a hiccup there. Producing 20 iron ingots a minute. So that's 120 iron ingots. We have a stack of coal guys, coal crushers, producing 120 coal a minute. That is being turned into coke powder, 120 coke powder a minute. So we're doing 20 coal into 20 coke in 6 of these stackable crucibles. Then we have our enhanced grinders doing 20 a minute as well. So that'll be 120 coming out, going into these athanors together with the iron ingots, and that'll produce 7.5 steel ingots a minute and 22.5 iron ingots a minute. So that's 30 steel ingots a minute that we're getting, and 90 iron ingots. Now, the iron ingots we are using to produce 240 iron nails a minute, and the steel ingots we're using to produce 30 steel gears a minute. Now, for a Mars, we need 240 iron nails, so we are actually producing all the iron nails a minute, and we have 10 iron ingots left over as well, because we're only using 80 of the 90 that we're getting to produce 240 nails. We're producing a quarter of the steel gears we need to produce a Mars. So we need basically 4 more of these setups, except we need to get rid of this because those iron ingots will be going into creating bronze and copper bearings. Now, bronze and copper bearings are made from bronze and copper ingots, but those are made from, if we can find them, so impure copper ore into a crucible, into a pure ingot. But an impure copper ore comes from iron sand and soap powder. So iron sand comes from iron ingots being ground. And then we of course need the soap as well. So we're going to take the, well, for this one we're just taking 10, but we're producing 90 iron ingots a minute here. So if we build another one, then we'll produce 90, and another one 180, and another one 240, which of which 80 of it is being used for the iron nails. So that leaves us with 160 left, basically, which we'll throw into making the bronze rivets and the copper bearings. So we need 3 more of these, except the nail processors, for 1 shaper producing steel gears. And then we have leftover iron ingots to produce bronze rivets and copper bearings. Whether it's enough, I haven't done the math that far ahead yet, but I'm sure it will add up somehow, because the developers have been really good at doing that. So yeah, we need to copy this 3 times, delete these, and then we'll have all the steel gears, and then we'll see what we can do with the leftover iron ingots to produce the rivets and the bearings. So yeah, let me get on that. Alrighty, we have 4 of these setups for steel gears, which will produce 120 steel gears a minute total, which is 1 belt. I've moved the iron nails production down to the last one, because there's no point in turning basically, where is it there? 80 iron ingots into 240 nails and having to use 2 belts to bring everything down instead of 1. So the iron ingots are coming down this way, going all the way down, merging up. So we have 90 coming from back here. They're merging up with the 90 coming here, and the 90 coming here, well, the 30 of the 90 are merging into there. The other 60 are going in here. Then over here, we are taking 60 of the 90 and merging into another 120. And then the last one, we're using 80 of the 90 iron ingots that we are producing. So we're just popping the last 10 on here, which leaves us with a belt of 40 iron ingots, plus the 240 we already had. So that's 280 iron ingots that we're kind of exporting to the next build, which will be bronze rivets and copper. Not those. Bronze rivets and copper bearings. So we need to figure out that math now. And the day has come to an end. So let's see how much we made. We only sold 4 Jupiters. That's disappointing. 5 Mars. That's disappointing as well. Should be 8 of each, more or less. Don't know what's going on there. It was just a bad sales day. It shouldn't be, though. Do we have any upgrade points? We do. And I did put 2 points into throwing efficiency, because the base for the cannons is 80. So plus 30, that's 110. So now we're up to 140, which means that we can keep up with our belts, which is basically what I wanted. So now we'll go on and continue with sales ability, because our cannons were holding us back in our Jupiter production. And I know exactly why our, well, not our Jupiter, but our, well, both our Jupiter and our Saturn production was down. Let's go take a quick look at that. The Saturns are down here, right? Somewhere. Yeah. Because I had set up some trash barrels, because we were backing up on glass and not producing salt because of it, which meant that we weren't producing the Saturns at all. And that was, of course, because we couldn't fire the salt fast enough. Whoops. So if we get rid of these now that we're trashing the sand, so that we would actually produce salt, we should be fine. We should be fine. I'm not... Why are you not shooting? This should be fine. Let's give it a day or two and see if it doesn't just keep producing and produce better than it was before, because the sand should now fill up the belts and the salt should be fired off at a fast enough interval that everything should be running at max speed, which would be lovely. Right, and I got a bunch of crap in my inventory from deleting all that, didn't I? Yeah, I did. I did. Well, it wasn't that much crap, but some. All right. Anyway, let's get back to these calculations. So we need 240 bronze rivets a minute, which means we need 80 copper ingots a minute. So 30, 60, 120, 240. Yeah, 8. We need 4 processors making bronze rivets. And we need... No, we don't need 4 processors. We need 30, 60, 40, 80. 30, 60, 40, 80. We need 8 processors. 30, 60, 90, 120. Jesus Christ. 30, 60, 90, 120. So we need 8 processors making bronze ingots, and we need 6 making bronze copper bearings. 8 processors making bronze rivets, 6 making copper bearings. Okay. So, in order to do that, we're gonna need soap scraps, aren't we? Because we're gonna need iron sand in order to make the copper powder and the impure copper powder, and we need soap powder to do that, and we need iron sand. Now iron sand is made if we put a grinder on the end of this, so let's just start by doing that and see how much we produce, because I cannot remember. Is it 1-to-1? It probably is. So if we take one of these, stick it on the end, yeah, 8-to-8, which means the standard or the bad grinder is 4-to-4, so 8-to-8. Now we have 280 iron ingots coming out of here. So 280 iron ingots divided by 8 is 35 grinders we need. 35 grinders to grind all that up. And then we need, let's just set up, do we have an ethanol here? No, that's for steel. I think we need another one. Ethanol. No, ethanol. Copper powder. So, this 280 iron sand will be enough to produce 20 a minute of each, plus a bit. Wow. That is nutters. And we need soap powder to do it as well. That is insane. Holy moly. And if we just jump down to where we're making copper bearings and such, which is not here. It's not down here either. I think it's here. Yeah, it is. So 10 impure copper powder makes 10 bronze ingots, and 10 copper powder makes 10 copper ingots. Ten bronze ingots makes 30 bronze rivets, and the other stuff makes 20 copper bearings. Oh, this is gonna make my brain hurt. This is gonna make my brain hurt. And the weird thing is, I'm really gonna enjoy it anyway. Okay. So let's just forget that we have this 40 up here. Let's just do 240 iron ingots. Those iron ingots are going to be turned into 240 iron sand, which means that we are producing 20 of each of these a minute. Which means we are producing 60 bronze rivets and 40 copper bearings a minute with what we've got coming here, except for the 40 we have extra. So that means that we need 4 of these setups to create 240 bronze rivets. And that would produce, I guess, 160 copper bearings. Because it's 1 to 3 and 1 to 2. Holy smokes. This whole floor is going to be Mars, isn't it? That is nuts. Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, if that's the way it is, that's the way it is. Now we need to make sure that we can get 2 belts out of there. So we'll make a little bit of space. And then we'll grind. Let's see, 240 divided by 8. 30. So we need 30 advanced grinders just to turn this into iron sand. Jesus Christ. That is insane. Okay. Okay. I guess we'll do it. I guess we'll do it. Because there's no going back now. And this is just for one shaper to produce Mars. That we've set this up now. And we're only like a third way through it. This is going to be fun. Alright, anyway. Let me do a bit of mathing and a bit of building. And I'll be back. Alright. So we had the little steel gear build here. And then I built a little bit more. So this is all our iron ingots being turned into iron sand. Well, not all of them. We have 40 extra that we're gonna move along somehow. But this basically grinds into 120 iron sand per stack. So we have 2 stacks of 15 grinders. That's a 240 iron sand. That iron sand is going into these 2 athanors. So 120 in each. to create copper powder and impure copper powder. And then it's going to go into processors, but I'm not sure which output is which yet. So, well, I suppose we can see here. So, if we take a look, that's not it. Copper powder is... It looks different to me. Am I wrong? This looks like chamomile powder, not copper powder. But I am colorblind, so... But that color and that color looks the same to me. And not that color. So, yeah. But this is impure copper powder. So impure copper powder isn't in a bowl. So this has to be copper powder, which gets turned into copper bearings, right? So copper powder gets turned into copper ingots, and then copper ingots gets turned into copper bearings. I am so confused. Let's just trash that, and we'll set the recipes when we set it going off, because there's more to the build. We then have soap powder being made. We need 6 sage nurseries for making our plant ash and turning that into linseed oil. And then we need 6 plant ash, turning that into 6 sage, turning into 120 plant ash for each of these. We have 6 of them, and we need 1 for each. And then we have 8 flax nurseries that get turned into linseed oil, and we do that on this side and on the other side. So it's I think that's a pretty nice build, and all of the flax comes out here, gets poured into the extractor, goes into these things, and then gets pulled in here, and it's the same on the other side. So all we need to do now is feed them. So let's feed them. We need a couple of these, and then a lift that'll come out there. So boom-a-loom, and boom-a-loom. And that should get everything going. There's our first flax. Our first sage is coming. Oh, and we need fuel for these, which we can't get because of this bottle here. So we're gonna have to reduce the number of bottles there. Okay, slight hiccup, but not a disaster. It just means that we have a little bit less backup, but it should be okay. And there we go. We are firing up. The linseed oil is going, or actually the soap is going, and the soap powder is going, and the linseed oil is going. Are we getting any in here? A little bit. But once everything is flowing, actually we shouldn't be building any up until we're stacked, you might say. And we will be, because we're not ready. Oh, you're not getting any fuel. Where's your fuel at? Let's get you some fuel. There you go. And we are producing. We are producing. So this is impure copper powder, and this is pure copper powder. Okay. I'm sorry if I'm sniffling a little bit, but feeling a little sniffly. So, copper powder gets turned into copper ingots, which is not in one of these. Oh, I forgot the crucibles. Darn it. I thought I was so good, but I wasn't. Actually, let's just do that, because we're gonna need... Let's just do something like that. We're gonna need to send that into crucibles, aren't we? Yeah. So how do we get fuel to those? Well, we can send it out here. But we're gonna have to delete this. We can still get that in there, but let's just see. We need you there, because we're gonna need a crucible for each of them, and we don't need it to be stackable. So we can just do that, and then we can send fuel out. I'm gonna have to redo this one. So to there, and then get fuel going around there, and then we can stick this in the bin. Okay. And then we can, let's just do something like that, and something like that. You go in there, you go in there, you go in there, and you go in there. Okay. So we're making our ingots. And then we need our other thingies. And we're gonna need you to come out again. So let's just stick some stone blocks in here. There. All right, you're going again. And now we need those to go into the processors. Okay, and the day has come to an end. It's gonna take a few days, a couple of episodes to do the Mars build, I think. Because it's big. It's a big build, and there's a lot to think about, but we are making very nice money. So we have copper ingots, bronze ingots, copper ingots, bronze ingots. And then we have our steel gears coming there. So if we, let's say we set up a couple of these. I actually think, I think that's fine. That's only room for 3. So we did 1, 2, 3 of these. That'll be too much space, won't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it will. No, we're not going to use those. We're going to use bricks. Well, what we could do, quite practically actually, is if we did something like this, and then put one of you on top. And then stuck another one of these on top of there. So now you go in there. You go in there. Then stick some bricks in. And do that. Why is nothing coming out? Something is coming out. I just couldn't see it. Alright, so this is bronze. So this would be set to rivets. Why? Did I? No, this is right. What the hell's going on? And this would set to copper bearings. Uh-huh. These are backwards. Okay. Why are you not getting the bronze ingots? Oh, you're not at the right level. Okay. I suppose that's fair. There we go. Then this is bronze. And this one is bronze, yeah. So that one goes there, that one goes there. Then a couple of bricks. And then like that. And you get set to bronze rivets. And you get set to copper bearings. Okay. That's better. So we now have 40 and 60. And we need 240 at 120. So this whole thing here, we need to set up some iron production, I guess. Well, we do need to set up some iron production. There's no guessing. We do. We do need to set up some iron production. And basically produce the rest of what's needed for one of these. This is insane. But I love it. This all down to here is steel gears and iron nails. Because the iron nails will be coming out here. 2 lines. Which isn't a problem. Because I got lucky mainly, because I didn't consider that I had to get the iron nails out of there. So that was a bit of luck. That was a bit of luck. Yeah. I wonder what... That's iron ingots. Oh, right. I think I understand what's going on. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But this is 90. Maybe I understand what's going on. If I'm lucky. But then, yeah, we have this extra. Oh, yeah. I understand, because we only need 80 here. So, yeah. So these 90 go in, come up, and go back round, and go up there and join that one, and that becomes 40 line. I'm on track. And now we're producing these 40 and these 60. Which is the 40 is a third of what we need, and the 60 is a quarter of what we need. So then we need to set up some iron smelting to create the rest for this one. And we still have 40 iron ingots. Now, 40 iron ingots is basically enough for nothing. Yeah, it's basically enough for nothing. So yeah, we need to set up some iron smelting down here for the rest of this. Because we need 60 more. No, we need 80 more bearings, and we need 180 more rivets to produce one Mars. I am not sure why there are these things here. That seems like a misclick somewhere. And we of course need more soap as well. For that. Oh man. This build is huge. This build is absolutely enormous. But we have space to work with. And I think what we'll do is we'll come down here, move this one Mars along the edge, and then the next Mars we'll start building in here, and probably the next one as well. Build that in the middle there, and then it'll come out and all the Marses will be assembled somewhere like here or something. I think that's going to be the plan. But I'm not sure. I'll let you know when I get there. Alright, I've been doing some thinking. I've just been looking at how long this video actually is. We're gonna call this one here, but I think we've made progress. We haven't built a Mars yet, but we're more than halfway. And I'm kind of liking the build, especially this soap powder build. I think that looks really nice. But yeah, for now, thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, it would be awesome if you'd leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, it really does help out a lot, and I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a fantastic day, and to see you again in the next one.